as water is becoming one of the big issues, especially out west. What about surface water? Flood water on my land.
You can discharge of it as long as you act reasonable.
There are 3 rules:
There are 3 rules:
natural flow,
natural flow,
the
common enemy,
and the
reasonable use, which is a sort of blend. Common enemy rule says what?
that you can take away water.
I can discharge surface water from my land in any way that I like, regardless of harm to my neighbor. The natural flow rule says you can discharge water, but
Through natural
If
drainage
it
path.
results, you can't change the direction of the flow.
can't change the direction of the flow of the stream. You can discharge all the water you want to into it, as long as you don't change its course. Or put so much, remember we had the case where there was so much water coming into the stream that it was collapsing the banks.
And the 3 on that, diverting or blocking a natural water course, channeling water into a downstream property or failing to exercise reasonable care with diverting water.
Say that again.
Natural flow rule, landowner may not harm downstream property by diverting or blocking natural water course. 2, channeling water into a downstream property, or 3, failing to exercise reasonable care when diverting water.
I think that's accurate. But again, that's 3 rules really. I mean, use the one that you need if you should need it.
Can you tell us where we need to focus our attention as far as equitable servitudes compared to covenants? What do we need to know about the differences of those two?
Well, what do you know?
Well, I know for the equitable servitude, you can, for the remedy, it's only an injunction, right?
Right. So let me just suggest an approach. See if it's a covenant, if it's a real covenant.
Okay.
And if you can enforce it against the person you want to. If you can't, because of a failure of privity, then consider whether or not you can talk the court into imposing an equitable servitude, which is an injunction. So we're saying to this defendant, you're really not bound by the covenant because you're a tenant. Or you're really not bound by the covenant, that would be not strict vertical privity, so you're not obligated by this covenant. But we're still going to make you comply with it, because that's what equity demands. That's an equitable servitude. It's a failure of a real covenant in a situation where we still want to enjoin the behavior. But we don't want to make the defendant liable in damages, because there's somebody else who is in strict privity who is liable in damages. Should be, anyway. Or else we just don't let the plaintiff have any damages. We just relieve them of the behavior. So you shouldn't even have to think about equitable servitude unless you decide it's not a real covenant, or this covenant does not bind this party. You want to do covenants?
Okay.
Or have we just done them? Is that enough?
Can we do all the services?
Easements and covenants?
Yes.
Okay. Could we take a 10-minute break?
Yeah.
Because I'm getting parched and you're not talking enough. So you talk a while and I'm gonna go find some.